What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're gonna play a little Dekker in the duo lane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Armored, Shredding Strikes, Auto Shield, Bladeturn, and lastly Mana Fountain for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Lamplighters, Coinmaster, Exoskeleton, Flame of Zechin, Greenspring, Radiant Healer, Brilliant Fortification, Protective Sentry, Growth Totem, Vital Waters, Yomi Guardian, and lastly Form of Grubbish. Now this was definitely one of the oddest matches I've played in a while. The enemy team has a support Countess and we have a solo lane Murdoch, so it was definitely an odd matchup. But, you know, hey, we gotta do our best, and since I am playing, you know, a real support, hopefully we can kind of dominate this duo lane. Now I definitely don't recommend running a Countess support, just because, you know, her Shadow Slip pushes lanes, guys, and as we all know, getting farm for the ADC in this early game is huge. You know, whoever can get that first power spike on, it, you know, has a huge advantage, and if Countess is just constantly pushing the lane, you know, it's going to cause a little bit of an issue, but, you know, hey, that's no problem. I'm trying to poke as much as I can, and, you know, let Sparrow get these last hits. Now, one thing about Dekker is really a full support. You know, you can kind of be offensive with Muriel and, you know, FaZe. You can kind of push lanes and do crazy things. But with Dekker, you know, you really are that support hero. And when you are playing that more support role, or, you know, a solid support role, you definitely have to rely on your team able to capitalize on your stuns, on your, you know, gates, on that slow. You know, Dekker just doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so you definitely have to rely on your team helping you out. And, you know, it's kind of the same with Muriel, but with Muriel, you know, you can allow your team to do crazy things, and since Dekker doesn't have shields, things like that, you know, you just really have to rely on your team to do damage. And so if you are a big solo queue player, I would say Dekker's probably not the strongest support for that solo queue role. You might be better off going with someone like Muriel or FaZe, but if you are in comms with your ADC, or, you know, you have a team, you can find a lot of success with Dekker. And you can see that in this clip right here. You know, we are going in on this Twin Blast, but since, you know, we just didn't quite have that follow-up, you know, I'm able to get quite a bit of poke, but I just don't have enough to get that kill. And, you know, that is a bit unfortunate. But if you are in comms with your ADC, which I am right now, but, you know, we just had a little bit of a miscommunication. If you are in comms, she's a much better support. But again, if you are solo, there are a few other options out there. Now, after we force that Countess and Twin to back, you know, we go ahead and push this tower a little bit. And when, you know, they show up, we need to actually get out. Our Sparrow, you know, she stays in just a little bit, but, you know, hey, that's all right. And we've got our wave pushed back in, but we definitely need to be careful, especially with this Countess showing up. And you can see we're able to stun her. We get a little bit of damage on her, but, you know, Countess is pretty slippery. And we definitely want to force these guys out of lane. You know, and when we saw Twin Blast come in, we should have known, you know, Kallari was going to head over, which, you know, at this point in the match, I actually didn't even realize he had a Kallari. But, you know, yeah, Invis, it hurts. But unfortunately, we both go down, so they get a great double kill on us, and that was just us being overextended, guys. And you can see how simple it is for you to be overextended and how easy it is to get ganked when you're on that Dawn side. So just definitely try to be careful when it comes to pushing up forward and, you know, learn from my mistake. Now, from here, you know, I did go back. I was able to pick up Coinmaster, and I went ahead and threw on Lamplighters. So, you know, I'm going to throw some wards down, and I'm kind of thinking, hey, maybe I'll throw one in the lane and just kind of protect against a Kallari rotation. Sure enough, we're able to do that. Countess does come in, but as of right now, since Countess is playing support, she doesn't hit all that hard yet. So, yeah, that was definitely not the best choice of, running around, but I wanted to be there for our Sparrow, and you can see I definitely took some poke for that. But, hey, it's not that big of a deal. We just need to be careful and, continue pushing. And, we do have a little bit of a safety net with that ward being here. Now, since we did have that Kallari rotate, hey, we need to be more careful. And I threw that ward down. I see Kallari heading in, so we know we need to back. Unfortunately, Sparrow was just a little bit too slow on that back, and she took quite a bit of damage there. But, that double stun was able to save her, and so hopefully, we'll get out safe, and I'll be able to, kind of defend this tower the best that I can. And, that would be absolutely great. Now, their Countess, she ends up coming in a little bit, and we're actually able to take her out, and then we end up taking out Kallari as well, so we get a great double kill. Unfortunately, Sparrow did go down, but hey, no problem. And with my team collapsing, we're actually able to take out that ADC. So, support, jungle, and an ADC for an ADC kill. Hey, we definitely won that fight. But again, I'm going to go ahead, get that lane pushing in the right direction, go ahead and back and throw on another card. So this is another one of those pretty long matches, which it seems like I've been having a lot of those lately. But yeah, I'm going to try to speed up as much as I can so it's not quite as boring. But again, guys, the laning phase is, kind of a boring phase. And, we're just doing that laning thing. Push it one way, have it come back the other way. Get as much farm as we can. And, sure enough, that's exactly what we're going for. Now, we do get a great stun onto Twin. And, hopefully we'll be able to get some damage on him. And you can see their Countess is trying to body block, but Countess can't body block, she's very weak. And we're actually able to get that stun off, and we end up taking out, we end up getting a double kill. Guys, I really don't try to steal kills, but, I want people to die, and sure enough, we're able to take them out. Now, you see Kallari there, and since we did throw that ward down earlier, we were able to take her out, and, we got that stun off, getting rid of her gold buff, or green buff, which is huge. I like removing green buff anytime I can, especially being the support. I'd rather the green buff blow up on me and do damage to me than my ADC. So we go ahead and take that off. I'm going to back very quickly, get full of mana, and then head back to lane. Now, in situations where the ADC is left alone, especially in this early stage of the game, you want to try your best to, shut him down. And, with that minion wave being fairly small, we're going to go ahead and head in onto this Twin. I missed that stun, which would have been huge if I would have actually got that stun. We might have been able to even get that kill. But, as of right now, we might not even forced him to back. We got some damage on him, but yeah, definitely not enough. And that is unfortunate. I missed another stun. Oh, I'm terrible. Dekker's stuns feel a lot better than they used to. They feel like they go in the direction you're aiming at least. And when they do hit, they feel like they actually hit instead of bouncing through people. But at the same time, Dekker's stun definitely takes some getting used to. It's not something you can just pick up and be expert at. I'm sure there are some people out there. But for the most part, you do need to practice it a little bit. Now, we are kind of hanging out under our tower, and we see Chimera heading over. And we know Chimera's going to be there, so we need to engage before they notice he's there and start retreating. That's exactly what we do, guys. We're able to take out Twin, no problem at all. And, from here, don't chase that Countess. Go ahead and get that lane pushing in the right direction. And, now's the time we get tower damage. We've got 14 seconds before Twin spawns in, and probably another maybe 20 seconds of him running down the lane. So we need to push this lane and try to get some tower damage. Now, unfortunately, we're just not able to do that. And with Kallari using her ultimate, we decide, hey, let's just back up a little bit and not risk Kallari coming in. She is quite a bit fed right now. She could definitely hurt us. So we want to be careful with that. And, unfortunately, we didn't get to really make a whole lot of progress, but that's okay. Now, again, same old laning phase, guys. We're just really getting our farm, doing what we can. Countess does head in, and we're not able to take her out, but go ahead and throw that wall up, which, she did shadow slip out of that wall, which is unfortunate. And, that did allow our Sparrow to survive, but Kallari heads in and takes her out. And that's kind of another point, guys, of, when you're low, you got to get out. And, hey, Kallari ended up heading in on me as well, and she was able to take me out. That's very unfortunate. We've had 2 deaths by Kallari, which, Kallari's doing work. She's doing a great job of taking us out, and, we're not paying attention to our wards, things like that. Those were both these 2 deaths have been very, very careless. So we just got to keep an eye on that. When you are low, though, guys, you definitely got to get out, especially when you're playing an ADC, because, it doesn't take much to kill an ADC. So if you are low, definitely get out, guys. Now, from here, I'm going to head back down, my lane, but we do see their Countess peel off and then Twin peeled off. I threw a ward down, but they're gone. So, we know they're going to mid lane, and I'm going to head over there to do the best that I can. I am able to pick up blue buff, go ahead and stun Kallari, throw down my little slow bubble, and then I'm going to get out. I go ahead and let Sparrow know as well, hey, we got to get out because, Kallari is here, and we just need to play very careful. Sparrow doesn't want to leave at this point, so, okay, let's go ahead and stay in. And, Kallari does show up. We're able to get a great stun on her and throw that bubble down, but unfortunately, Kallari hurts at this point. She's done a much better job of farming than we have at this point, and you can see the damage where she's able to put out, as well as, we're just not quite hitting hard enough. Now, unlike a lot of other supports, Dekker can't really body block or things like that. I mean, she can, but it's not near as effective as someone like Steel or even Muriel. With her shields, Muriel has a much better chance of body blocking than Dekker does. So, you have to know that, not only as the ADC, but as Dekker herself. You need to know what your support can do, and you can see when Kallari comes in, I've got a stun, and that's about it. Now, my ward, I see that Iggy coming in, and you can see I instantly turn around, head over there, and, I'm able to engage onto Iggy, which gets his turns hitting me and not my Sparrow, and that's exactly what we want, Map awareness, guys, is key, and you can see that saved us. If Iggy got behind us and was able to throw up a couple of turrets, we would have died for sure, but that not only prevented that from happening, but we both got out pretty much safe, and with Radiant Healer up, the little damage we did take, we're already back to full health. Now, my team has done a great job of, being in the right place at the right time for the most part, and they were able to take out Twin and that Iggy as well as Countess. And this is going to free us up to get a free tower, guys. And with their 3 teammates being down and that tower being downed as well, it's time to pick up Fang. And, I've seen a lot of teams, they'll wait till the enemy team's all the way up, or, they don't have their lanes pushed and they'll try to go for Fang at that point. And guys, you have to pick the time to pick up Fang. Of course, if you're countering the enemy team from getting it, that's different. But if you're putting yourself in a bad position, you think of Fang just like Prime. You need to pick the right time and place, and having 3 enemies down, downing a tower, getting that lane pushing, that's the perfect time, because if they do come to contest Fang, that team fight will delay them long enough for your minions to take out towers, which taking out towers is just as important as picking up Fang. Now, I am just kind of hanging out in mid, and this Grux is here. We're going to go ahead and get our barrier out. We stun him, and we delete him, guys. And, that Dekker gadget cage, oh man, you can't live through that, guys. And sure enough, we're able to take that out, no problem. Iggy has used his ultimate. I was poking at one of his turns, but just wasn't able to do it. And you can see Twin is just full on pushing that solo lane. So we definitely have to head over there and deal with that. you know, that's one issue with having this ADC as a solo laner. You know, he's pretty weak and he can get rotated on fairly easy, and you know just not having that presence there, that threat there to set lanes, because ADCs need to get farm. You know, they don't want to set lanes and rotate because, you know, that'll kill them, and you know it just makes it a little more difficult. Now, Kallari is here, and, you know, hopefully we can get some damage on her, but, you know, she was able to get out, which is unfortunate, but, hey, no problem. We finally got some progress. We should be able to take down this mid tower, but we don't quite get that. Kallari comes in, you know, she's able to take out our Sparrow, and, you know, that was just unfortunate. And this good advantage we have has kind of turned around into this very staggered team fight, and you know we do get some damage onto Grim. I'm really hoping to take him out, but Kallari, God, Deathcrawler Kallari, you know, she one-shots me, and you know takes us right out of the fight. So there goes our support and our ADC, and you know it hurts, but their whole team is very low, and you can see Murdoch goes around to clean that Grux up, clean that Countess up, and, you know, Kallari, she's in mid, but, you know, hopefully without having just a huge presence on her team to get us low, we'll be able to make some progress there. Now, from here, I end up putting on form of Grubbish, and guys, this card is so good, especially on a support. You know, you have 2 forms of CC. That's absolutely amazing. And, you know, you can really turn a couple of, you know, very dangerous situations around, and we actually do that a few times in this match. Now, I have to head over to Sparrow. You know, we have an enemy presence there. We definitely have to take these people out, and sure enough, we're able to delete Countess. Kallari does get away. Guys, please explain to me why we have a cage that half the enemies can get out of. I'll never understand that. That's one reason I'm not a huge fan of Dekker. I don't think every other hero should just be able to walk out of her cage, but it seems like everybody really can. And, you know, even if you throw on Blink, you're able to. So every hero has the potential to get out, and it just kind of feels bad. But it is what it is. We're able to take out Countess. You know, we might have been able to get that kill without that cage, but I did not realize Gadget rotated over. So, you know, hey, getting kills with an ultimate is always worth. From here, you know, we've made some good progress. It's time to go for Fang. You can see we've got a huge presence over in that solo lane, as well as mid lane. We've got some presence in mid lane, and, you know, our safe lane or duo lane is pushed pretty well. And with me having wards, you know, we can ward against Kallari. This is going to free us up to get Fang. And, you know, picking those right times to pick up Fang, that's absolutely huge, guys. Now, after that second Fang, you know, we definitely have to be careful. You can see we have a big presence in the solo lane, so we're going to head over there. You know, unfortunately, we did lose our tier 2 already, and, you know, that hurts, so we don't have jump pads, but the enemy team has also got a tier 2 down, so, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and cage off this Grux, and I'm able to get my stun off before he gets his, and, you know, hey, that works great. I bugged him, so we're going to be able to take him out and then rotate and turn onto Twin. Now, it would definitely be a much better option to focus Twin at the beginning, but you definitely want to go after, you know, focus your efforts. Go after the enemy that your other heroes are going after. You could see our Chimera was going after that Grux, so focus Grux. You know, Grux did use both his CCs in the beginning, so, you know, you've got a few seconds to actually switch to another hero. But if you see them not doing that, you need to focus on the hero that they're focusing on, so at least you can get a single kill. I did get ulted and died by Kallari, but, you know, we were able to wrap up both those kills because we were focusing targets. And that, you know, that's huge play, guys. I see a lot of people make that mistake in not focusing targets. Focus the one that everybody else is, even if it's not the right target. Now, after we spawn back in, there is a pretty big presence in mid lane, so I'm going to head over there, and my Sparrow's actually going to head over to the solo lane to, really farm that up and deal with that. And, that's great, because as Dekker, I offer nothing in the side of wave clear, and having your ADC do that, that's absolutely huge. Now, Grux was close to our Sparrow, and Grux can definitely take Sparrow, as y'all saw in that last video I made. So I'm going to actually stun him, and then we go ahead and silence him with that Grubbish. We'll take him out. Oh, man. Grubbish, that's such a good card, guys. And you can see Grux couldn't do anything with that stun, and then the silent stun. And from here, we're going to go ahead and try to push this inhib. Now, this inhib is very, very low. So if we can get this Winion tower, or this Winion push into that tower, we should be able to take it out. Unfortunately, our Sparrow doesn't go into the tower, and, I really think that if she would have gone into that tower, we would have definitely been able to take this out. And so that's another key point, guys. When you get a Winion wave or a minion wave into towers, go for the tower. Don't worry about enemies. Don't worry about the enemy minions. Go for that tower. And you can see this second time around, it was just too late, guys. We missed the opportunity when we didn't get enough damage in on that first time. If we'd have got enough damage on the first time, it would have definitely set us up to where, we would have at least been able to finish it off the second time. And an ADC dying for an inhib is definitely worth, especially in this kind of stagnant game where, no one's really making a ton of progress. We've just kind of been, killing but not following up. Go for that tower, guys. That can really help you out. Now, as a support, I really can't challenge anybody. I have to support my team, follow my team around. If they're doing something, I need to be there to help them out. And, just kind of keep an eye on the map. Now, I'm standing here kind of looking at Fang and, seeing if I need something to happen. Our Twin Blast, or the enemy Twin Blast heads in. And, he's able to take out Murdoch. Now, Murdoch's running red zone. And guys, I really hate red zone. We actually have 2 red zones in this match. Kallari, the enemy Kallari and our Murdoch are running it. And red zone really just ends fights quickly. It really turns into, instead of actually getting into a fight, you're getting into a slaughter. And, it just doesn't feel good. I'm just not a fan of it at all, guys. And we are going for a fairly risky Fang, but sure enough, we're able to take it out. And with my ward being there, we're able to get vision onto Kallari. Kallari can jump out of my zone, but we definitely kept Iggy from coming in, which is absolutely huge. And now, I see Iggy. I'm able to get that stun through that fog wall, and, this new bubble that she has, it hits hard. You can see that we're actually able to take out Iggy. We didn't even have to use Grubbish on him to take him out. And, that's great. We end up getting a 4-man kill. But again, guys, we're not really following up on these kills with, what we need to. And Grux is able to push down to this inhib and take our inhib out. Which, that really is unfortunate. I wasn't able to get there and hit him with that silence quite fast enough. We do end up, getting a Grux kill here, but, losing an inhib is absolutely huge, especially since they had 4 enemies down. 4 enemies down and still got an inhib, that hurts. Now from here, again, we're just going to push down our lanes and, hopefully make some progress. I'm here with Sparrow and our Murdoch, and, I'm thinking, hey, we can really push this inhib. We get an unexpected prime, so, hey, that's great. We got prime, and hopefully we can make some progress here. We want to keep this pressure up, and you can see Gadget is back dealing with Twin Blast. They actually collapse on Twin Blast, and they're going to take him out fairly easy. But, we wanted to keep pressure up, and, we got Iggy out of that fight, but, we weren't really able to make a whole lot of progress. It did allow us to pick up another Fangtooth. So, we've got 4 Fangtooths, which is huge, and we're going to go ahead, zone out this Grux, and, again, we're able to punish Grux for being out of position, and then, again, take out that Iggy. I went ahead and used Grubbish on him. hoping that he wouldn't be able to use his ultimate, but, you know, he got it off just in time, but it didn't matter. We deleted him. And from here, you know, hopefully we can push into this inhib. But our Chimera, I'm not exactly sure why our Chimera left. You know, he left this mid lane, which, you know, that's unfortunate. At this time, guys, this was the time we should have been pushing. We still had Prime. You know, we got those couple of kills. That would have been the time to push, and if we wouldn't have, you know, if Chimera wouldn't have left and our Sparrow wouldn't have, you know, backed up there, we might have been able to turn on Kallari and actually taken him out. But again, guys, when you get kills like that, that's the time to push objectives. There's no need to jungle or anything like that. Push objectives because, of course, objectives win games. Now, they still have two enemies down. You know, Countess and Twin are up, but Countess is very low. And if she ever steps in, you know, Gadget will stick her with the bomb. She'll be down. So, this should be a pretty easy inhib. And I'm going to actually head over to Twin Blast. I'm hoping to actually take him out. And, you know, unfortunately, he gets away. I'm not going to chase him into the core. You know, let's go ahead and adjust elsewhere. You know, we got the mid inhib, which that's definitely the big one. You know, having the solo lane inhib on our side down hurts, but getting that mid inhib is absolutely huge because that, you know, it's such a fast lane that the enemy team is going to be forced to stay there a lot more than, you know, us in that solo lane. Now, my team does a great job, and me, Gadget, and Chimera head over to our duo lane, and we're able to put a ton of pressure on here. I go ahead and grubbish this Grux and, you know, hit him with a stun. And with Chimera here using his ult, CC game. CC is real. And we're actually able to push this tier 2 down fairly easy. And you can see we still have a little bit of presence. We know where Iggy is. We just saw Kallari. But, you know, hey, it's time to push another inhib. And, you know, this was an absolute huge play. You know, we did lose a hero here and there, but this was an amazing play, getting two inhibs, you know, in the lanes that we still have inhibs up, so that's going to make them focus on two lanes when, you know, we can freely push the single lane. Now, Kallari is behind us, but, you know, Kallari is a pretty tricky hero. I do have a ward, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that down. And unfortunately, you know, I should have stunned before I threw my slowdown, but she probably still would have got away. It's unfortunate. You know, Kallari's slippery. You really have to get her with some stun, some CC to stop her if she's invis or, you know, Chimera's a good counter to her, but you know, you can see it's very easy for her to get out of situations, especially if she has a ledge to jump up to. But now we need to head back to our duo lane or our solo lane because it is pushing. You can see since we don't have that inhib, it's naturally pushing, and we definitely have to get back there to, you know, patch things up. Of course, we are able to head over there, and we just kind of help out, and once we get it pushing in the right direction, we can kind of let Murdoch have his way and really push that lane. And as the support, you know, I'm fed, guys. As a support, you know, I don't really need a whole lot more cards on than I've got. And so I'm going to roam around, try to do my best to, you know, keep people alive. And that's, sure enough, we're able to head over. We didn't really stop that Countess ult, but we've made them back. And since Countess played as a support, she's severely underfed and wasn't able to just delete our Sparrow, which that's great. That's great news. Kallari and Murdoch are having just battles, you know, battle of the red zones. And so they've just been one-shotting each other all match. God, I'm not a fan of red zone, guys. I really think that card is just absolutely terrible. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it cranks out your damage, but it doesn't help when it really comes down to fights. You know, if you're running red zone, if the enemy team gets a steal ult on you, your entire team's gonna die. You know, I'm just not a fan of red zone, and you know, especially on Kallari, who's running Death Crawler and red zone, she hits for like 16,000 damage. You know, it's ridiculous. But hey, we're doing okay, and you know, with us having those two inhibs down, hopefully we can make something happen here. Now we start to kind of see a group up, and hey, it's time to go in. It's time to make something happen. We do miss that ultimate, which is unfortunate, but hey, you know, it's time to do some work. And sure enough, we're definitely making things happen. I want to get my Grubbish out, and, you know, I just forget to use it, guys. But we definitely could have used it earlier. And by the time I remember, you know, that was going to be a free kill anyways. But sure enough, we're able to take that out. Now Kalari is behind us. And, you know, again, she's running red zone, so we have to be very careful of her. And we need to focus her if we can. I'm staying close to our Sparrow, and, you know, I'm able to throw down that ward. You know, if I hit Kalari with the stun, that's probably going to take half her health because, you know, red zone. And then, you know, it would be very easy to get a kill on her. You know, from here, we can really push the core and try to get some damage on it. You can see Kalari does show up, and we're going to go ahead and throw our cage up and try to get a stun, but we didn't quite make that. You can see the damage. And, you know, me being Dekker, we're able to take out that Kalari because, yeah, I gotta say, guys, Red Zone's a terrible card. It'd be great if I could actually land stuns, too. But, you know, we're doing work. We're going to be able to take out this Countess. And, you know, from here, we got a complete team wipe. But, you know, we don't have our Murdoch up at the front. He's pushing that duo lane, or that solo lane, and with just me and Gadget here, you know, and me being low, we need to get out. It's unfortunate we couldn't end there, but we got very close. You know, 35% it's pretty good. So from here, we just need to back up, reset, let everybody come back to, you know, lanes, everything like that, and we'll get another minion push to actually down this. Now, I am going to head to our solo lane to help push that. You know, unfortunately, Murdoch peeled off, and, you know, we're just not really having a whole lot of team communication, which is unfortunate. But their Kalari does come in, and, you know, hey, he's doing work. But I've got Grubbish. We're going to be able to silence him, and, you know, she does go invis, which that's an issue. But you saw, with a stun and a single basic attack, we took her down like a quarter health or a third health. You know? Oh, man, if she wouldn't have been invis when we hit her with Grubbish, we would have probably been able to kill her as Dekker. Which is awesome. And, you know, from here, again, we've just got to get our lanes pushing in the right direction. You can see the issue of, you know, not having that good communication. Having a solo lane Murdoch who's, you know, really trying to play more of an assassin role. You know, we've really just been struggling with the roles that we're playing, as well as just having a little bit of a communication issues where, you know, we'll get a kill and then people peel off to go do other things instead of pushing towers. And, you know, that while it's been unfortunate, we're slowly turning it around. Now from here, I'm going to try to get this lane pushing in the right direction, and, you know, with my team being here, hopefully we can make that happen, but Grux is pushing our duo lane, so we got to head over to help deal with that. I'm going to port back because I can't really push lanes by myself, and, you know, it's better to be there when the team needs me instead of being in a lane, you know, trying to push a lane. But my team was able to, you know, work on that and get that straightened out. And, you know, hopefully we can actually get the win from here. Our Murdoch is, you know, doing work on this Countess, and he's able to take her out. So we've kind of started a staggered death cycle, which is absolutely huge. That's exactly what we want. And, you know, this will really free us up to try to end the game at least. We're able to silence this Kalari. You can see 4 basic attacks with, you know, Dekker. I chipped him down way more than, you know, those 2 basic attacks he hit me with. Yeah, red zone, guys. I'm telling you, it's terrible. But from here, hopefully we can make something happen. Gadget did get, you know, a little overzealous, and she pushed up a little too far, and she's, you know, she gets taken out, and that really is unfortunate, but is what it is, guys. We're going to go ahead and head back to base and, you know, kind of get everything straightened out. We do have Winions heading into the tower, and with a couple of them down, you know, Gadget going down there, you know, that hurts. there was really no reason for me to be pushed up as well because all of my team was far back. You can see our Sparrow and our Chimera are in the solo lane, our Murdoch's in the duo lane. You know, there's no reason for me to be pushed up that far. I was going to plan on going back and picking up Yomi Guardian, but, you know, I didn't have the points for it because I spent them incorrectly. But from here, hopefully, we can actually make something happen. And sure enough, we are pushing into that final inhib. And really, you know, once you get 3 inhibs down, hopefully the end of the game is sure. Now, we did take out that final inhib, and hey, you know, let's retreat. Kallari ends up showing up and taking out our Chimera, which, you know, hey, that's unfortunate, but is what it is. You know, we've got all 3 inhibs down, so hopefully we can make something happen. Countess heads in to, you know, try and deal with us, and, you know, hit her with that Grubbish. With Sparrow here, you know, dishing out some damage. Hopefully we can actually get a kill. And this is really just a big distraction because we've got minions on the core, and sure enough, we're able to get that Winion victory. Well, guys, that's gonna wrap up this Dekker video. Whew, that was a long one. But if you did enjoy, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing. I hope this video showed her off good enough for y'all, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.